I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey. He will make your hometown not like you. The next time Drake sits courtside at a Raptors game, they're gonna Forrest Gump him. Sight's taken.
Drake just found out the hard way. Messing with Kendrick Lamar was a big mistake. Kendrick isn't just winning the battle, he's out here showing no mercy. Not only did he drop Not Like Us and snag 5 Grammys for his diss tracks, but he also rocked the Super Bowl stage with it like a victory lap. And guess what? He didn't stop there, he brought up even more heat. Serena Williams hit the stage with that crypt walk while Kendrick was tearing into Drake. Talk about a savage moment. The whole crowd was stunned. But Drake? He wasn't feeling it at all. Seeing his ex up there clearly set him off, and he totally lost it, publicly reigniting the beef like it never ended. Now the big question is Drake heading back to the studio to fire off another diss track? How did Kendrick even manage to get Serena to shade Drake like that? Let's break it down.
I have a fixation with Halle Berry, but she's already
I do.
Yeah,
that was unfortunate, but
would you really have, like, let's say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Would you seriously consider
like being with her?
Yeah.
100%.
First off, it probably wasn't hard at all. Word is, Serena can't stand Drake. Honestly, it wouldn't be shocking if she was the one hitting Kendrick up, asking to hit the stage and do her thing. And let's not act brand new. This ain't her first time doing that crip walk to the track. Remember when she hit that same move while presenting at the ESPYs last year? Wild. Her ESPYs moment had nothing to do with Kendrick or Drake, but she still slipped in that crip walk. That says a lot. People are saying Serena seriously can't stand Drake, but what really went down to make her that mad? Here's the tea. Drake and Serena used to be a thing back in the day. But after the breakup, Drake just couldn't let it go. He made it a whole mission to throw shade and embarrass her any chance he got. And sadly, that's not out of character for him. He's known for acting out when a woman curves him, then dragging it on for years. Drake's been throwing slick shots at Rihanna for years, even dragging her man A$AP Rocky for no reason, like he's stuck in the past. And Rihanna? She's been minding her business since day one. You'd think he'd take the hint and move on. But nope, he just keeps pushing it. And it didn't stop there. Remember that weird vibe with Halle Berry? Drake stayed showing love to her in interviews and on social media, making it clear he was into her. But Halle, she never gave him the time of day.
No one is safe from the slime.
Still, instead of backing off, Drake kept pressing and even started saying things that had folks raising eyebrows. Some of it came off real inappropriate. One of the most cringe moments? When Halle Berry announced her pregnancy, and instead of saying a simple congrats like a normal person, Drake jumped in with another awkward comment. Seriously, why? But he didn't stop there. Drake went as far as name-dropping Halle in some of his tracks, and let's be real, it wasn't flattering. In fact, it felt straight up unsettling. Just look at his verse on the Migos Versace remix. He raps, "Take a famous girl out where there's no paparazzi. I'm trying to give Halle Berry a baby and no one can stop me." Like, what? That's not cute, not funny, just plain weird. It was just straight up weird. Halle Berry never showed any interest in Drake, but he still kept putting her in his lyrics like he had some kind of claim over her. Like, what? And then things got even more out of pocket when he used a photo of Halle as the cover art for his track Slime You Out with SCA from his For All the Dogs album. Instead of picking a creative image or something that matched the song, he grabbed a throwback shot of Halle getting slimed at the 2012 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. Like, what was that even supposed to mean? And the worst part? He actually asked Halle if he could use the pic, and she said no. But Drake went ahead and used it anyway. Total disrespect. And guess what? That wasn't a one-time thing. He pulled a similar stunt with Serena Williams, too. No wonder she's got zero love for him now.
Having relationships, everything's going to be very light. Not going to get like heavily into things.
No, I get heavy on a couple joints, but this is more about me and Serena. So I
gathered. I gathered that.
But I wanted to make a
But
song.
you don't want it to be.
Well, it's funny because when I make songs about women, I also make songs for them. So I know what kind of song to make. If I'm going to talk about them, I'll at least do them the justice of making them a song that they like.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Drake really seems to have an issue with women moving on, especially when it comes to Serena. She's happily married now with 2 kids, living her best life, but that clearly didn't sit right with him. So what did Drake pull last year? Out of nowhere, he dropped a massive 100 gigabyte stash of content on this sketchy mystery site called 100gigs.org. And instead of announcing it through his official pages, he used his low-key burner IG account, Plot Twist, which he'd been secretly updating since June. This wasn't just some random folder dump either. It was packed with unreleased tracks from big names like Young Thug, 21 Savage, and Latto. But that was just the surface. Things got real messy from there. Fans got a rare peek behind the curtain, never-before-seen footage of Drake in the studio, building some of his biggest albums like Take Care, Views, and Certified Lover Boy. And that wasn't all. The stash also included behind-the-scenes clips with legends like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Rihanna, and Cameron, plus cameos from folks deep in Drake's inner circle.
No. Song I did where I sampled the beginning of that and then rapped over it. No!
Now, the real reason behind this surprise content dump, still a mystery. But word on the street says Drake was trying to distract everyone from the heat he was catching in his messy back and forth with Kendrick Lamar. If that was the plan, well, let's just say it definitely didn't play out how he hoped. The drama with Kendrick just kept getting messier, and Drake's big 100 gigabyte distraction barely made a splash in the convo. But hold up, there's more. As if the chaotic content drop wasn't enough, Drake slipped in a little extra tea for fans to catch. Hidden in all that footage was a clip of him working on Too Good with Rihanna, where he casually let it slip that the song wasn't about Riri at all. It was actually about his other ex, Serena Williams. And get this, he wasn't telling an industry friend or collaborator. He was spilling all this casually to his mom, Sandra, like it was no big deal. For context, rumors about Drake and Serena had been flying since 2010, but just like Rihanna, Serena never really claimed him. Serena kept it classy and low-key, never confirming anything. Meanwhile, Drake was out here acting like a lovesick puppy. Fast forward to now, and Serena's living her best life, married to Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, raising 2 beautiful daughters, and just glowing. But remember what we said about Drake flipping the script when women don't choose him? Serena wasn't the exception. For years, he was doing the absolute most. GQ even dubbed him Serena's most embarrassing groupie. And let's be real, they weren't lying. But the moment Serena made it official with Alexis, Drake's whole vibe flipped. Instead of leveling up and moving on like a grown man, he took the petty route again. Drake threw shade at Alexis Ohanian like he wasn't the one who spent years chasing Serena. In his track, Middle of the Ocean, from the Her Loss collab with 21 Savage, Drake took a messy shot saying, "Sidebars, Serena, your husband a groupie," then tried to play it off like, "We don't got a problem," but followed that with, "It's like you coming for sushi." Yeah, real subtle. But Alexis handled it like a boss. He posted a pic with their daughter Olympia at one of Serena's matches and captioned it, "The reason I stay winning is because I'm relentless about being the absolute best at whatever I do, including being the best groupie for my wife and daughter." Now that's how you clap back with class. When Drake dropped that video of him chatting with his mom about Serena, fans immediately connected the dots. They realized it was his sneaky way of clapping back at Serena for doing the crip walk to Not Like Us at the ESPYs. He thought he was being slick by burying it under a flood of content, like people wouldn't notice. But fans saw right through it. Serena didn't say a word in response, too classy for the mess. But she definitely got her revenge at the Super Bowl. She hit that crip walk again and stole the spotlight like a boss. And here's the wildest part. She didn't even get paid for that Super Bowl appearance. Yep, performers don't earn a check for it. She pulled that move just to make a statement against Drake, plain and simple. Drake, he wasn't having it. At his show in Melbourne right after the Super Bowl, he switched up the lyrics in Night Talk and said, "Beef is live. He's clearly still salty." Spoiler alert, I never die. That's what Drake said, but man, he's looking real salty right now. And honestly, who can blame him? Kendrick and Serena tag-teamed that man on the biggest stage, and fans did not hold back. One fan said, "Kendrick bringing out Serena Williams to Crip Walk after Drake stalked that woman publicly for years and obsessively threw shots at her for turning him down is so wild. He's the definition of chaotic good." Another added, "Okay, I lied. Serena Williams doing a Crip Walk on Drake's tomb was the best thing I've ever seen. Drake stalked Serena for years. This is her retribution. This is her peace." But what do you think? Did Kendrick go too far by bringing Serena into it? Or was it exactly what Drake had coming? Drop your take in the comments below. And don't forget, like this video, hit that subscribe button, and tap in for the next one. You don't want to miss what's coming next.